गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः. So in the 57th verse we are looking at the moment we are looking at the Sthita Prajna Lakshana, and in the 57th verse we saw he who has no attachment and who meeting with good or evil does not welcome the one or hate the other, such a person is well poised in wisdom. And this is what we saw. He is Samatva. He is the witness to all the changes, and thus he is called as the steady man of wisdom. Now, in the 58th verse, Yada samharate chayam kurmongani vasarvashaha indriyani indriyarthebhyah tasya prajna pratisthita. And when this wise man, when he withdraws from all sides his senses from the sense objects, even as a tortoise draws in its limbs, then his wisdom is well poised. So he is not interested in the world. He is not interested at the sensory level or the mental level. Then, therefore, he withdraws. But where is he withdrawing to? He is withdrawing back to his essential nature. And Jnaneshwari Maharaj says here, Kakurma jiya pari uvaila aveva pasari natari ichhavashe avari apule apana taisi indriye apaiti hoti jayache manitale kariti tayachi prajna zan sthiti patali ase. He says, even as the tortoise extends or withdraws its limbs at will, so his senses remain under his control and function according to his will. Know then that his wisdom has become steadfast. And when the verse says, when this seeker, when this yati, when this sadhaka is able to withdraw. How is able to withdraw? We only know withdrawal under force. Right now I am looking with force, so my eyes are hurting. Only when we become tired, nothing to do, let's withdraw. Because I am tired of the whole day. So here it is told, when he withdraws without effort. Without effort. If you withdraw with effort in sleep, your sleep will be broken. If you withdraw from the world under force, under control, extreme tapasya, etc., then after some time you will come out of that. But when it is effortless withdrawal from the world, then the avoidance happens. Then such a person is not interested. See, withdrawal doesn't mean only going to meditation. Withdrawal also means not having an itch to get involved in the world, isn't it? Not having an itch to improve the world. If I don't give lectures on Bhagavad Gita, how will the world improve? There are people like that. So there is no urge to improve the world because the recognition is there, everything is perfect because he has come to his essential nature. Yeah. So Karma Yoga, when we do Karma Yoga, why do we do Karma Yoga? Is it to improve the world or is it to purify ourselves? It is to purify ourselves. We don't do what normal understanding Karma Yoga, you have to do your duty. But there, you're not defining the duty. You're saying your duty towards children, your duty towards grandchildren, your duty towards society, your duty towards nation. That is all external. But Karma Yoga itself means that it is to be done so that we purify ourselves. See? And this simple point is misunderstood. The self-purification is left aside and involved in the world to improve the world becomes the criteria. Just like an example given is like a kurma. Kurma is the tortoise. When in face of danger, that tortoise doesn't fight. What does he do? Between the two shells, he withdraws all his 5 limbs. The head, 4 limbs and the if there is a tail, everything inside. And in this way, the wise man also withdraws his 6 limbs, that is the 5 senses and the mind, all of them into within, and then lives without fear, and he is not withdrawing it out of fear of the other. He is withdrawing it. Remember, first it was withdrawal without efforts. So how is effortlessness going to happen here? It is going to happen by jnana nishtha. Because his commitment to the self is making him withdraw from the world, because he understands what the consequences are if he gets involved in the world with his 5 senses and the mind. What is the rule? Whatever you give attention to, you get attached to that. Then likes and dislikes, then desire, and it goes on and on and on. So so here the suggestion to the seeker in the Sthita Prajna Lakshan is, don't get entangled in anything in this world. See? Most important is the peace of our mind. That is more important. Outside situation is not important. Your peace of mind is important. See, if we allow our senses to have any sense tricklings, sense stimuli, they will get disturbed. And the biggest is the tongue. The taste, you cannot forget taste. You will, because of food you survive. And so we have to cultivate such a disposition within, wherein we do not appreciate anything, we do not depreciate anything, we remain in the center. And when we remain in the center, what is the result when the world is coming? The world will be coming, the world will be seen, but no seer is born. If no seer is born, then no impressions are formed. If no impressions are formed, no desires will appear, and slowly your mind will undo itself by itself. Not because all you're doing is watching. but we have an itch. इसका भी पता करते हैं, उसको भी उंगली करते हैं, इसको भी कुछ करते हैं. हाँ? And इंद्रियाणि इंद्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Such a person is established, is sthita, pratisthit, is in the knowledge, and such a person alone is pratisthita, also means respectable. Such a person is respected by others. प्रतिष्ठित व्यक्ति है ना. इसका मतलब क्या है? He may be politician, he may be, but a wise man also is a pratisthita. Now in the 59th verse, a doubt is raised that if a person is having a disease, so right now I am having a itchy eyes, and I am having a tendency because of the itchy eyes to close my eyes. So I am closing my eyes effortlessly or under compulsion. Not effortless. It is happening under compulsion, isn't it? Out of the itch that the light is creating. Yeah? So, am I withdrawing from the grains and the sweet effortlessly or under compulsion because I know the consequences of diabetes? It is under compulsion. It is under fear. What the future will be holding, what it will lead to. So here, a person who is suffering, he is also withdrawing, and a person who is wise, he is also withdrawing. What is the difference? Both are withdrawing. Question पूछने में क्या जाता है? So the student is this is the possible question that could be lingering in the mind, because even if we have withdrawn, the rasa for that object, the longing to see the world of colors and forms is still lingering within my subconscious, isn't it? Within my mind. I may be closing my eyes. I may not eat for so many days, but the urge, the longing to taste food is still there. Is it like that with the wise man also? So for that, this verse comes. It says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Together, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Jnaneshwari Maharaj says, the sense objects, this was the 59th verse, wasn't it? Yes. The sense objects turn away from an abstemious person except the taste. This too turns away after he sees the Supreme. So till then, it doesn't. So what does he say? He says, Arjuna anika hi eka sangena ekekavatika ya vishayante sadhaka त्यजीति नियमे श्रोत्रादि इंद्रिये आवरिति परिरसने नियमो न करिति ते सहस्रधा कवलिजति विषयीः जैसी वरी वरी पालवी खुडिजे आणि मोळी उदक घालिजे तरी कैसे निनाशु निपजे तया वृक्षा तो उदकाचे निबळे अधिके जैसा आडवे न्यांगे फांके तैसा मानसी विशोपोखे रसनाद्वारे येरा इंद्रिया विषय तुटे तैसा नियमून ये रस हटे जे जीवन हे न घटे येणे विना मग अर्जुना स्वभावे ऐसी आही नियमाते पावे जय परब्रह्म अनुभवे हो निजाईजे तय शरीर भावनासती इंद्रिये विषय विसरती जय सोहम भाव प्रतीति प्रकट होय. So here he says, further I should like to tell you another strange thing. The seeker who gives up the sense objects through self-restraint and restrain their senses but not the sense of taste becomes entangled in the sense objects in 1,000 ways. If you pluck the leaves from the tree externally and water its root, how will you destroy it? If you keep the rasa is still there and outside at the sensory level you are controlling yourself, but the desire is still there, how will you remove that? Even as the tree spreads sideways by that watering, so also sense enjoyment is nourished through the sense of taste. The objects of the other senses may cease, but it is difficult to restrain the sense of taste, as without it human life cannot be sustained. A person can, however, restrain the sense of taste also if he attains the experience of Brahman. When conviction dawns upon him that he is Brahman himself, then the consciousness of the body ceases and the senses think no more of their objects. Effortlessly. You don't have to try, you don't have to practice, you don't have to put efforts. And so Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehanaha. What does the word Vishaya mean? Vishaya means that we can take two meanings. One is the sense organs, and the second is just the sense objects. Both can be Vishaya, because both cannot be without each other. And the sense objects are for the sense organs. And when we accept the sense objects for any reason, then how can we keep away from them? When we are giving value and importance and attention to the sense objects, how can we remain away from them? We cannot. and when do you give them? We give them importance, or we want to withdraw from them, from the sense objects, when we are under trouble, when there is kashta, when there is difficulties in our life, then we want to withdraw from them. Another time we want to withdraw from them is when we are doing tapasya, we withdraw from them. And the third is when we are foolish. What does foolish mean here? Drinks, drugs, etc. Or sleep. Sleep also comes under foolish, murkhta. So under these three conditions, we are seen to withdraw from the sense objects. But the rasa here will take it as longing. That longing is kept intact, and the example taken was just as the tree is if you keep plucking the tree's leaves away, but the roots are continuously being watered, the leaves will keep coming back, the thoughts will keep coming back, the desires will keep coming back. So we have to kill the roots. We have to, that longing has to go away, and just keeping away from the objects, locking yourself up in the room, doing tapasya and not thinking about anything, without understanding, or withdrawing under alcohol or sleep or etc. All that is just artificial means. You are not withdrawn from it under with understanding. You are withdrawing from it because you know it needs to be controlled, but you don't know how, so you are controlling it. Lot of, you see these kriya yoga or ashtanga yoga or kundalini yoga, it is all, if you do those practices which they are propagating, they are all under force, all under force of pranayam, force of moving the air in the body in a particular manner. And so keeping away from the objects in such manner is not going to be beneficial. And when people do it in this manner, they start acting funny, they start acting crazy, they start having a very a funny character. And you must have all come across somewhere or the other such people. So where is this rasa? Rasa is in the seed. Seed is the desire. Seed is the impression. And that's where the rasa is, the longing is. It is remaining intact in our subconscious as that impression. And whenever the conducive circumstances come, that impression comes to the forth, because as your mind is getting empty, the impressions will come to the front. And if it is a strong impression, again it catches you, or you, if by mistake you give it attention, again you are gone and you lose the plot. And this rasa, the subconscious impressions, another word for them is vasana. It is very subtle, you can't see it. You see it only when it appears as the desire. Whereas the wise person who is established or abiding in the knowledge of Aham Brahmasmi, only by that knowledge, that Aham Brahmasmi, that the rasa can be conquered, that the rasa can be burnt away in toto. It is just like, only when the light comes on, all the darkness dies its own death in totality, not slowly, completely. Same way, the moment we recognize Aham Brahmasmi, Brahman is that light of all lights, is the consciousness itself. It is self-illuminated, self-knowing, self-existing. How can anything else exist in front of it? So in that abidance, all the rasa, which is at the body level, all these are at the body level. When we say it is a subconscious, that is also body only. Gross, subtle, causal, body. So it is in the subtle body or causal body. So everything, when I say in the body, the whole, all the three, gross, subtle and causal, have to be taken as together. The whole body itself dies its own death because you are not available to give it attention. And in that sense, such a person, such a sthita prajna purusha, becomes nirbij, without any seed of longing, without any seed of desire, and thus he continues to abide. In other words, nirbijatva itself is realization, but here remember how we are, the last two verses the topic was being developed, that rasa is the longing. How do you get rid of the longing? You cannot get rid of the longing until you realize. So you may control many things, but as Jnaneshwari Maharaj says here, the desire for taste can be taken not only as a tongue, but taste the world, taste the multiplicity of the creation, that urge, that itch, that longing to be involved in the world, that longing has to be given up. So, in other words, unless we know the truth, we cannot give up the longing. So, what should we long for then? Long for self realization. But even that longing has to be given up. See? Till then, this rasa, it will be pursuing us. So the verse said, where are we? 16, huh? No. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Param drishtva, those who are seeing beyond, those who are they have a transcendental vision, nivartate, they withdraw from everything. Another way it is said how to withdraw nivartate is to be indifferent towards everything. See? Remain, another technical word for it is be udasina. Another word is disinterested. So don't show interest in everything. Okay, kya bola tune? What was that topic that you were talking about? No. We remain totally indifferent to everything. Give absolutely 100% discount to everything and everyone. And when this technique of being indifferent is applied to everything and everyone, then nothing can disturb us, and as a result we become what? We become reactionless. Our mind is continuously reaction is the way of is its way right now, isn't it? So we become reactionless. Even on the seat of meditation, we become reactionless when we remember this, that we have to be indifferent to everything. So there are only three ways the mind can go. Either the mind, if the stimuli is coming, the mind can be sukhi, mind can experience joy, mind can experience you can experience joy, or you can experience sorrow, misery, or you can remain indifferent to both. Choose how you want to move in this world. And the one who remains indifferent, then it will benefit. And for that you use whatever, save your energy. Every time you become full or miserable, your energy is getting leaked. Your energy is getting leaked. You are losing your energy. You are losing your stamina. See? And the easiest way of what Jnaneshwari Maharaj propagates is conserve your energy. How? By being involved with japa 24/7. Don't get involved in anything. Be indifferent to everyone. So in 58 and 59 verse, we have learnt about how to control the indriyas. If we don't do this control, then what happens? Opposite scenario also is to be said. So that is told in this 60th verse. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. Together, yatato yapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manah. So he says here, for the rebellious senses of a wise person, O Arjuna, even while he is striving otherwise, forcibly carry away his mind. Even masters who are abiding, they are seen to demand food, they get angry, Akkalkot Maharaj, huh? or, and they have a urge for hunger, for defecation, etc., etc. That is urge. Even though it may be natural, so they are seen to be that way. So, what does he say here? Here, Ravitari Arjuna, he aya nae sadhana, zera hatatati jatana, nirantara, jayate abhyasachi gharati, yamanyamansi tati, ze manate sada muthi, dharuni ahati, तेहि किजती कासाविसी या इंद्रियांची प्रौढी ऐसी जैसी मंत्र ज्ञाते विवसी भुलवी का देखे विषय हे तैसे पावती रिद्धि सिद्धिचे निमिषे मग आकळिती स्पर्शे इंद्रियांचे नी तिये संधी मन जाये मग आभ्यासी ठोठावले ठाये ऐसे बळकटपण आहे इंद्रियांचे. He says, Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying, moreover, O Arjuna, if a person continues to restrain their senses, it is difficult to bring them under control by any means. The more you put efforts in controlling the senses, what will happen? Every action has an opposite reaction. They rebel even more. Yesterday I went into meditation effortless, very quickly. Today why I am not able to go into meditation? Why my mind? Yesterday I had a very quiet mind. Today why I don't have a quiet mind? Exactly the same thing I am repeating. This is the reason. If you continue to forcibly, with efforts, control your senses, then it is difficult to bring them under control because they will rebel. They will take revenge. They don't take revenge as such, but they rebel. If you press a spring for a long time, it will react back, it will come back. And in this way, if they restrain the mind by yogic practice, and how do we do it? Here it says, by fencing it with religious observances, they have to suffer agony. If you control your senses by religious observances, what are they? How do you fence it? See no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil, taste no. गांधी जी के 4 बंदर, 3 नहीं, 5 बंदर. Forceful, covering. Parents also were like that. Don't see this, don't see that. Cover your face when some scenes used to go on the TV in 70s. Huh? If the person is hugging or trying to kiss someone, cover your face, don't look at it. See? So yogic practices, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, under force. Yoga and Gyan must happen together. You can practice that, but then it should be sublimated by Gyan. See? Merely controlling senses, nobody does the dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Nobody does. And many people who are doing japa, they don't even know that the journey of the mantra is Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. They don't know it. Just chanting last 30, 40 years. Then what have you been doing? You control your senses how? Ekadashi, Navratri, Shivratri, Ramanavami, the Dashera days, people do fasting. Ekadashi they fast. What fasting? They are eating all the time, and before the day before they eat more because next day is upvas, and after the upvas is over again they eat more because they had an upvas. But the purpose was to sublimate your senses, expose your mind to japa, to gyan, to satsang. But instead of that, they were only thinking about the ego that I do Ekadashi Upvas, or Navratri. I spent Navratri without eating. We also did it. You have to practice it to come to know that it doesn't work. Or it doesn't work when the mind is not in the right place. And when you stop something, then those thoughts are more predominant in the mind. If you say, I'm not going to eat, first day it is okay, second day it okay, third day only thoughts of food in your mind. Then it takes another 3-4 days if you remain in the right space, then they subside. Then last 2 days you enjoy the peace. The rest of the time it was only struggle. See? But that also is temporary. So these are all religious observances. पूर्णिमा के दिन ये नहीं करना है, अमावस्या के दिन ये नहीं करना है, एकादशी के दिन ये नहीं करना है, and all that. So here he's saying, Jnaneshwari Maharaj is saying, because he is surrounded by the Pandits who are stuck to all these rules. So he's telling them, if they restrain the mind by yogic practice, if you are a tapasvi, fencing it with religious observances, they have to suffer agony. Such is the might of the senses. Just as a female spirit casts a spell on an exorcist, so these sense objects come in the guise of supernatural powers. See? What is he saying now? Before, your senses were able to see the object. Now you have got another ability. You can manifest things. Siddhis. Then this siddhis, because of the control of senses, something has to change. And what is the change? You get some extraordinary ability, and that extraordinary ability keeps you in the loop of longing. It keeps you away from being who you essentially are. See? And sway a person's mind through contact with the senses. Then what do they want to do with this siddhi? They want to help people, they want to show it off, they want to encash it, etc., etc. If his mind is caught in their snare, and once he experiences it, once he starts enjoying the name, fame and the power, not realizing that all this siddhi came only because he was controlling the senses. But once money starts pouring in, name, fame starts pouring in, sadhana becomes secondary. And as sadhana becomes secondary, all the power starts depleting. फिर जूते पड़ते हैं. And in this way, the first requirement is our senses should be under our control. Remember yesterday's verse? We saw who is Sarvajna and Sarvavit? Who is Sarvajna? But who is he? Who has all the senses and the mind under his control, who is not affected, influenced, entangled in the senses and the mind. Who is Sarvavit? Who is the Jiva? Jiva is who is entangled, who is under the control of the senses and mind. He knows the world. Ishvara knows the general. Where is the siddhis? In between the two. You are Neither you have merged into the Ishvara, nor you have left the Jivahood completely. You are a Trishanku in between somewhere. And that's when all the Siddhi starts coming. Depending upon what is your subtlety. The subtler you are, the more the Siddhis. A wise man also remains in the world. He is also seen to be involved in the world. He cannot stop. If person comes in front of him, he has to respond or not respond. Something has to happen. Either he will respond or he will not respond or he will be indifferent, isn't it? Three things. If hunger comes, same thing. If he has to walk, he will do the same thing. So senses will make him also do, and but a common man, he has a choice. But a common man, under the spell of the senses, he becomes a a slave to the senses. Whatever the senses say, the jiva, he does that. Therefore, we must be self-disciplined, and self-discipline, we must follow here. When we say follow the scriptural injunctions, we don't mean the karma kanda. We don't mean forcefully making your mind single pointed. We are talking about the jnana. You use the yoga and jnana, but follow the scriptures, do's and don'ts. If they say don't get involved, don't. Only when you want to do sadhana, don't get involved. What about the rest of the 23 hours? That time you will get involved. No, there also you have to keep that udasina attitude, that indifferent attitude. And they say, this was told. And the best thing is for us that the Guru decides for us. If you can't decide, ask the teacher, ask the Guru Maharaj. The Guru Maharaj can, if you can't access the Guru inside, it is there in everyone. But because of your fickle mind, then go to some teacher, someone whom you respect, someone whom you revere, ask them and follow it to the T. Don't question them. Why this is not happening? You do it. It will happen. 61st verse is Tani sarvani sanyamya Tani sarvani sanyamya Yukta asita matparaha Yukta asita matparaha Vashehi yasyendriyani Vashehi yasyendriyani Tasya prajna pratisthita Tasya prajna pratisthita. Together. Tani sarvani sanyamya Yukta asita matparaha Vashehi yasyendriyani Tasya prajna pratisthita. So here he says, holding them, meaning holding all the senses and mind in check, all of them in check, the yogi should remain fixed in yoga, intent on me. This was a big difficulty in me. I was doing it all. I am doing it. I'm chanting Om. I am doing it. In the end, one day, I told you the story. I said, why am I going through the same loop again and again? When I control my senses, I am happy. Then I think I have reached. I stop doing the sadhana. Again, I fall back into the vices. And then one day the Lord revealed in the bed, what? You did it for yourself. You did not do it for me. That was a big wake-up call. Then I stopped doing the sadhana. Then I just started chanting the mantra. And the mantra made me go through all the experiences and sadhanas that I was practicing myself. For when his senses are under control, the wisdom is well poised. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, म्हणौनि ऐके पार्था याते निर्दळीजो सर्वथा सर्वविषयी आस्था सांडूनिया तोची तू जाण योगनिष्ठेसी कारण जयाचे विषय सुखे अंतकरण झकवेना जो आत्मबोधयुक्तू होऊनी असे सततू जो माते हृदया आंतू विसंबेना यर्वी बाह्य विषय तरी नाही परिमानसी होईल जरी काही तरी सांद्यंतुची पाही संसारू असे जैसा का विषाचालेषु घेतलिया होय बहुवसु मग निभ्रांत करी नाशु जीवितासी तैसी विषयाची शंका मनी वसती देखा घातू करी अशेखा विवेक जाता. He says, listen, O Partha, he who conquers his senses, abandoning desire for sense objects, is alone at the dedication to yoga, is alone dedicated to yoga. He who conquers his senses, abandoning desire for sense objects. What is conquering his senses and desiring, abandoning desire to sense object? What is this sthiti called? This is called pratyahar in yoga. Pratyahar. Whether the eyes are open or they are closed, you are not interested in the sense objects. As he possesses his dedication to yoga, for his mind is not beguiled by the senses. At pratyahar stage, even if the senses are open, we are not interested in interacting, in getting involved, in getting connected with the world stimuli for any of the senses. As he possesses always the knowledge of the self, he does not forget me. Who is this Sthita Prajna Purusha? The Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. He who is well poised, he is not, because he is established in the self, therefore he is not involved in the world. If you take only he who is not interested in the world and who is not disturbed by the, who is withdrawn, that is the pratyahar sthiti. But anytime some powerful stimuli can come and hijack that mind, but not with a person who is established in his essential nature. Even if a person keeps aloof from external sense objects but remains constantly brooding over them, he still remains engrossed in worldly life. Such a person cannot be established in the self. By you are still thinking of gila kachra, sukha kachra. How you are going to get established in the self? The stimuli are still important. Even as a little drop of poison, if taken, spreads all over the body, so the smallest trace of desire in a man destroys his discriminating power completely. Even one desire is enough. One desire to destroy your life, destroy your think. When you sit in meditation, when you do your japa, only one thought other than the japa is enough to disturb your poise, isn't it? It brings you out, depending upon its intensity. Same way. Here it says, even just as a little drop of poison, it spreads all over the body. Desire is that poison. It destroys the discrimination completely. And then we fall to the temptations, and therefore We must keep all our senses under our control. Let our involvement in the world, let our involvement in the world be according to scriptural injunctions. What is to be involved, what is not to be involved in. Keep your maryada. Maryada, you understand? Maryada Purushottam is Ram. He knows what are his parameters. He does not cross the line in any relationship, in any involvement. He does not cross the line. Even when he was at war with Ravana, who was doing all wrong things, he was not crossing the line. No, if he is doing it, I should also do it. He did not. See? Right? Okay, anyway. Some president said some things about India and Indian Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister did not cross the line. He kept quiet. See? And the whole thing fell back upon him only, the one who spoke. Those are these qualities. We don't have to answer any stupid fellow. Because he has opened the mouth, so we have to open the mouth. No, we don't have to. So because one thought is coming, so we have to react to that thought. No, we don't have to. Remain in poise. So when we practice in yoga, here it was told, in yoga you practice yama, niyama, sanyama. So what do you practice? Yama is what? We can tell you simply, you interact with the world in such a way that you don't disturb the world, nor the world disturbs you. Isn't it? That is yama. And niyama is what? You interact with yourself in such a way that your involvement with yourself at physical, subtle and causal level does not become a disturbance. So niyama, when we are loose in our yama, in our involvement in the world, then our energy leaks into the world with people, interactions, answering back, kama krodha lobha moha mada matsarya, the energy is leaking. But when you practice niyam, where you do not get disturbed by the world nor you disturb the world, your energy is conserved. And that is brahmacharya. One example is brahmacharya. Then niyama is, how do you, we are our biggest enemy, how we talk to ourselves, how we interact with ourselves, how we behave with ourselves when nobody is around, how we behave with ourselves. So here the shouch, etc., all that comes, and that is to discipline your internal. First was to discipline your external, now it is to discipline your internal. And then sanyama sanyama means, so yama, niyama, sanyama. Sanyama means that you are equipoised. Equipoised means, sanyama means that we are our senses and the mind are under our control or not. That is sanyama. And it is not a superficial control, it is not a control over with force, but sanyama is where we are in equipoise and undisturbed, in the witnessing position where we are undisturbed by what is coming and going. Therefore, all we maintain our poise with reference to desha, kala, vastu. Maintain that poise. Don't get disturbed by the place that you are. Why I have to drive so far away for a class? Why can't I hold the class in my house? One day a thought might come. And I say, no, okay, if you can't come, I will not come. There are people who have behaved that way. Where it is going on, it's going on. See? This is how they react. Kala. Why can't we have class earlier? Why can't we have later? No, this is the time. For everything there is, oh, we must not be influenced by desha. We must space. We must not be influenced or disturbed by kala, time. And we should not be disturbed by vastu, that is the objects. With regards to these three, you have to maintain sanyama. Sanyama is the equipoise. And remember, it is not the other way that you control your senses and then you come under equipoise. No, through equipoise, you bring the senses and mind under control. नहीं तो यहाँ पे बैठ के शुरू कर दिया क्यों आई एम ट्राइंग टू गेट टू माई सेंसेस अंडर कंट्रोल. नो, equipoise, live a poised life in and through your daily living. When we are controlling the senses, when we are doing asana, pranayam, pratyahar, when we are doing yama, niyama, asana, etc., when we are doing the kundalini sadhana or the kriya yoga sadhana, what are you seeing? What is the commonality here?
I am doing it.
Okay, I am doing it. What else?
Action is given importance.
Action is given importance. Very good. Action is given. What else?
Result you are looking forward for.
Looking forward for results, that also is there.
Forcing yourself?
Pardon me?
Forcing yourself?
Forcing yourself, yes. What else? Put all this under one umbrella. It is Prakriti Pradhan. We are giving importance to the world. We are giving importance to the body, breath, mind, intellect, isn't it? And that is Prakriti. Then what is Purusha Pradhan Sadhana? So world is Purusha Prakriti. So this is Prakriti Pradhan Sadhana. What is Purusha Pradhan Sadhana? Remaining in equipoise is Purusha Pradhan, where your attention is on the I, your attention is on the self, your attention is on the witnessing consciousness, your attention is on not being disturbed by anything. Your attention is not there that I should not be disturbed, but you are seeking, who am I? At this moment, your attention can be on the words that are coming to you, Prakriti Pradhan, or your attention can be on the consciousness that you are, because of whom hearing is possible, Purusha Pradhan. That much shift you have to make inside yourself. Are you Purusha Pradhan sadhana or Prakriti Pradhan sadhana? If you are Prakriti Pradhan, you are listening to me, then you will want to listen to it again and again. Then you will want different data, who has said something else, who has said it more nicely, or that person has not said nicely. You will compare and everything. Or even the wish to hear it again. But when it is Purusha Pradhan, you are content. The moment you come to the equipoise, you are instantaneously you are content. Because there is nothing to disturb you. Okay, let the words come. From that point of equipoise, the clarity and with which the words are coming. Right now the words are coming to you, you are missing so many words. But when you are, before you get to the witnessing, equipoise is where your mind is balanced. Then next stage is witnessing consciousness, to be the witness. So when you are in equipoise, from equipoise point of view, your understanding is absolutely crystal clear. Once you hear anyone, it's okay, understood. It is not important. This is important. But understanding doesn't go. You understand. But when we are Prakriti Pradhan, we want to keep repeating till we get adept at it. Whereas when we are Purusha Pradhan, remember, Ishvara is who? Who is unaffected by Prakriti. Equipoise is that position, that witnessing is that position where you are not disturbed by the Prakriti, which is the various thoughts. The whole purpose was to come to thoughts. The whole purpose was not to understand. Understanding is also at Prakriti level. But once you come to the Purusha principle, the I, the correct definition of I, then knowledge will sprout forth automatically. You understand this. And such a person who is doing the Purusha Pradhana sadhana, such a person alone is the wise man, and such a person, he is not seeking the world which is coming and going. He is seeking that which is more powerful, the seeker. He is seeking something which is more powerful than himself. And what is that? Either it is Ishvara from devotion point of view, or it is the self from the knowledge point of view. So he is seeking that self, which is all encompassing, not lacking short in anything. It is complete and therefore more powerful. Individual, oh, I am an individual, he is an individual. How can this individual be powerful? Individuality and a variety of individuality is only at Prakriti level. Yet he is seeking something greater. He is seeking that all-encompassing principle, which is his essential nature. And in this way, this equanimity practice we have to do again and again and again and again. And for that, yes, you can take help of yoga or any other thing, but don't forget what your destination is. Your destination is not once artificially, Prakriti-wise, the senses and the mind are sublimated to certain extent, then immediately shift to knowledge. Immediately shift to, here it is also told in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Tada, what was that? Chitta vritti nirodha iti yogaha. Whichever way you do it, by yama niyama or kundalini or this or that or whatever, or by japa. But what was that immediate? The moment you see that your mind is being sublimated, is getting dissolved, then what was the next stage? Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. Immediately shift your attention to the swarupa, to the essence. Don't remain, अरे यार सब कुछ गायब हो गया, अब क्या करूं? Then you are in Prakriti. If this question is coming that there is void, there is absence, there is emptiness, there is nothingness, you are still in Prakriti. You did not shift your attention to the conscious principle. So, what is to be done then? This sounds very difficult. When you are living in the world, stop living a reactionary life. Stop living a reactionary life. For everything तू मैं नहीं, कपड्डी हर जगह नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है, गलती हो गई. Someone abused you. सुख दुख समय कृत्वा, लाभालाभौ समय कृत्वा, जय जय समय कृत्वा. Remain in the middle. Don't praise anyone, don't badmouth anyone, don't, just remain neutral. If at all you want to be positive and be neutral. But I told you so many positive things and you didn't implement it in your life. Wasted my energy talking to you. Who asked you? Parents rant against children. That is a soul. Let that soul live his own life. Let it chart out its own journey. You worry about your mind. Why are you worried about their life? They are grown up now. But we still, as a parents, as a teacher, as a guru, many in ashrams also it happens. Worried about some Guru Dronacharya had Arjuna as his favorite. Were always worried about his success. So when we are alert and vigilant with the reference to this world, that we don't react, we remain equanimous, we remain balanced in our mind, we remain in the poise, then our mind, over a period of time, the mind will become calm and quiet. And now the famous verse, we'll read it and look at it in our next class. What is the ladder of fall? If we don't practice this, then we will fall. What is that ladder of fall? That is told, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Sangaste Shupajayate. Sangaste Shupajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Kamat Krodho Bhijayate. Kamat Krodho Bhijayate. Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha. Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha. Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha. Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha. Smriti Bhranshat Buddhinasho. Smriti Buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati. Buddhinashat pranashyati. Together. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. Sangaste Shupajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Kamat Krodho Bhijayate. Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha. Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha. Smriti Bhranshat Buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati. What is this ladder of fall? When we do not practice the equanimity that was told before, and by way of equanimity, control our senses and our mind. And in other words, it was told that live a life of reactionlessness in life. And reactions only come for the ego. One who is in the poise, for that person, the reactions don't come. So, we'll look at where do we go wrong in our approach to life, in our interactions with our contacts, people, experiences, thoughts, imaginations. Where do we go wrong? That we fall again and again and again. That will be looked at in the 62nd verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.